Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for the amazing response that you gave to our last video on multiple sources of income. तो आज की वीडियो में we'll talk about simple things that we can do to be rich. I know the title of the video says how not to be poor, and that's because I will not be talking about strategies like real estate में invest करो, business start करो and become very rich. The intention of this video is to make simple changes in our financial behavior so that we do not remain poor. So let's get started. Number one thing that keeps us poor is not tracking our expenses. बहुत बार ऐसे होता है दैट हमारा बिल जो है वो $3,000-4,000 का आ जाता है क्रेडिट कार्ड का, एंड देन वी थिंक टू आवरसेल्व्स, यार इतना खर्चा हुआ कैसे? वी जस्ट हैड दैट एडिशनल टिम हॉर्टन्स की कॉफी और वी जस्ट हैड दैट वन डिनर. इट्स नेवर जस्ट अबाउट दैट वन टिम हॉर्टन्स की कॉफी. And therefore it's really important that we know where our money is going. डिस्क्रिप्शन में there will be a Google Drive का लिंक जिसके अंदर मेरा जो पर्सनल ट्रैकर है, it's not very fancy, it's on an Excel. There are technology based solutions available out there. मेरे लिए वो Excel काम करती है and it is very simple. I actually track every dollar that goes out of my credit card or my account and every dollar that comes in, and that's how I know how much I'm spending towards restaurants, how much I'm spending towards my housing, what are my needs, what are my wants. And it's very important to do that, especially if you are not able to understand where the money is going and खर्चा हो कहाँ पे रहा है. क्योंकि इसमें होता क्या है कि अगर बहुत ज़्यादा मैंने शॉपिंग कर ली किसी महीने, या फिर बहुत ज़्यादा मैंने कॉफ़ी पी ली, बहुत ज़्यादा बाहर का कर लिया, इट्स नॉट अबाउट कंजूसी, इट्स जस्ट अबाउट कीपिंग अ कंट्रोल ऑन योर सेल्फ एंड यू नो हाउ टू कोर्स करेक्ट. एंड इफ यू don't track that, there's no way we can improve on that, and it's really important. It's number one thing that all millionaires have done in the past and they still continue to do. The only difference is that they are not doing themselves, they just have accountants who are doing it for them. अब आते हैं point number 2 पे, where we will contradict ourselves a little. Number 2 reason of us staying poor is saving. And when I say saving, it doesn't mean that we should not save. What I mean is saving the money and losing to inflation and not investing our money. Inflation is at a record high today at 6%, which basically means that if you have $100 today in your bank account, it will become 94 next year. Not because you spent the $6, but because everything became more expensive. So I know a lot of people ask me where to start, what to do. I follow a few simple rules and I've been following it since we came to Canada. सबसे पहले, when you have not saved anything or invested anything, you need to save as much as possible from your paycheck and get to a $20,000 ka number. This $20,000 is not something that you invest anywhere. It's something that's kept in your bank account for emergencies. For instance, if you have to book a flight for India in an emergency, you can actually just take out those, whatever $5,000-6,000 you need from the $20,000 and replenish it later. You don't have to tap into your credit card. You don't have to take on debt. You don't have to take on your line of credit. And that's really important. Those $20,000 are your emergency fund that you never touch unless there's an emergency. And also what I do is, and that's something that does not beat inflation by any means, but my bank account only gives me 0.05 kind of a return in Canada. So I put it in EQ Bank, which is basically Equitable Bank, and that gives me 1.25% return per year. I know it's not a lot, but it's still okay. And I put it, in that account and just forget about it. It actually helps me forget about the money that I have because I'm not going to use it ever. And it just helps me gain 1.25% and yearly interest, which is not a lot again, but it's still something. And the link to EQ Bank will be in the description. Again, अगर आपने multiple sources वाली income देखी है, this is an affiliate link. You will make $25 $20 when you download the EQ Bank app, and I also get $20, and that way we both get money when we meet and have coffee. तो ये तो हो गया सेविंग का. Now that you have saved those 20,000, 15,000, 25,000, whatever that emergency fund is for you, then we move on to investing. And उसमें भी बहुत simple rule है. Guys, I'm a very passive investor when it comes to stocks, and what I basically like to do is I just take my paycheck, whatever is coming into our bank accounts, me and Simran together, and I take 20% out of it to invest. And I invest this money into two parts. One is 15%, the other one is 5%. 15% is basically $1,500 is spread into my TFSA account. Now, for those of you who don't know what TFSA is, it's basically tax-free savings account. This is basically an account where if you invest your tax paid dollars, you can actually take out whatever returns you get from the stocks, including the principal what you invested, tax free. So you don't have to pay any tax on the capital gains or the dividends or the appreciation that you have, and you can take it out anytime you want. Now there are constraints to it, so there is a video that we made on TFSA, so do check that video out. The $1,500 is actually broken down into 4 ETFs. Now ETFs basically are exchange traded funds. ये बेसिकली एग्रीगेशन होता है बहुत सारी कंपनीज का एंड दे एक्चुअली मूव विद द मार्केट. सो फॉर एग्जांपल वी इन्वेस्ट इन 4 ETFs जो हमने बहुत डिटेल में डिस्कस करा था इन आवर प्रीवियस वीडियो, बट जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ दिस वीडियो वी इन्वेस्ट अबाउट $375 into 4 ETFs. Number 1 is VDY Vanguard FTSE Canadian High Dividend Yield Index ETF. इसके अंदर बैंकिंग स्टॉक्स हैं, इंश्योरेंस है, ऑयल है, बहुत सारे अलग अलग इंडेक्सेस हैं which actually comes together. It is very high yield, it is very high dividend. I think about 3% dividend payout होता है and therefore I like to invest in this. उसके बाद we also invest in XEI, XIC and VRE. ये जो लास्ट वाला ETF है, this is basically a REIT. For those of you who don't know REIT, what this is it's basically fund that is created from a lot of companies that actually collect rents and they actually invest in real estate, and when these companies grow, your portfolio grows. When these companies gain profit, they actually pay out dividends, and dividends can be very substantial, and that's the reason why I like investing. I just invest $375 per month, right? So I like investing that into something which actually gives me a little bit more return, and that's how I spread the $1,500 that we have is in our ETF budget every single month. Now guys, don't get me wrong here, these 4 ETFs will not make you rich overnight. This is a very slow way of beating inflation. This is a very slow way of making you rich. It will give you a couple of $1 million, and उस पे भी हमने वीडियो बनाई थी, because what happens is that there is a compounding effect that happens on the money that you put into ETFs, because dividends are coming in, फिर drip पे लगा हुआ है, their dividend is reinvested, and all that actually compounds over years. And TFSA is something that I will not touch for years to come. Maybe 20-25 years later, I'll have $2-3 million into my ETFs with all the investments that I make today, because it has compounded and grown with the market. Now the other thing a lot of people ask is कि TFSA account खोलना कहाँ पे है, ये ETFs कहाँ से लेने हैं. So I use WellSimpleTrade to do it. It's a very well established company. It's been doing this for a very long time now, and I have always invested through WellSimpleTrade. I just like the platform. The link of WellSimpleTrade will be in the description, and if you download using that link, you get 2 free stocks to get you started. अब ये तो हो गया 15%. अब बाकी का 5% कहाँ पे जाता है? The other 5%, which is $500, actually goes and splits into Bitcoin and Ethereum. $250 Bitcoin, $250 Ethereum, and that I do every single month. Now I know cryptocurrencies और भी बहुत सारी हैं, but I do not have the time or the energy to invest. You would see that मेरा जितना भी portfolio है, it's very automated. वही 4 ETF में हर बार पैसे जाते हैं, split into 1/4, and वही 2 cryptocurrencies में मेरे पैसे जाते हैं. Now Bitcoin and Ethereum में मैं WellSimpleTrade से invest नहीं करता हूँ. I use BitBuy, which is another app that I use. It's the oldest when it comes to crypto in Canada, and therefore I trust it. And again, the link of this app will be in the description, and you will get $40 if you use that link and download the app and start using and investing in crypto. And guys, the point here is we should not fret about all these investments. ये जो $2000 जा रहे हैं ना, ये चाहे मार्केट ऊपर है या नीचे है, ये $2000 will always go into these accounts irrespective of where the market is. Whether the market crashes by 30% or the market is increased by 30%, over 10 to 20 years, it will always give you 6 to 8% return. It has historically given 6 to 8% returns. And if you have more money, there are other ways of quadrupling and doubling your money. We'll talk about that in different videos. But again, this video was all about how to not get poor, how to not remain poor. And that's why this is a very good passive way of investing and ensuring that your money is not losing value to inflation. And by the way guys, ये जितनी भी सारी advice है, जितने ETFs है, do your 50 hours, 100 hours of research before doing it. Don't just do it because I am doing it. I just do it because it works for me. I just do it because I have done my research. This is not financial advice, and I am, to no extent a financial guru. I'm just saying what I do, and I'm just giving you suggestions based on my experience. अब guys ये वाला point बहुत लंबा हो गया, तो point number 3 आते हैं. Point number 4, I promise these will be very small points. So point number 3 is stop buying crap that you don't need just because it's on a discount. अब गाइस ये सबके साथ हुआ है, एंड ये जब मैं ये वाली लाइन बोल रहा हूँ ना, ये अपने लिए भी बोल रहा हूँ, बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो ट्राई टू बाय थिंग्स व्हेन इट्स ऑन डिस्काउंट. कोई ब्लैक फ्राइडे सेल लग गया, क्रिसमस सेल लग गया, यू नो व्हाट, एज अ मार्केटियर आई नो दैट जब ये डिस्काउंट्स लगते हैं तो उसमें जो वैल्यू ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट होती है वो थोड़ी ऊपर होती है, एंड देन इट्स डिस्काउंटेड. इट्स अ मैसिव अमेजिंग वे ऑफ getting people to buy stuff that they do not need. Do not fall into the trap. And you know, ये वाली चीज़ जो है, ये मैं हमेशा से ऐसा नहीं था. I was always in credit card debt. I always used to buy stuff that I didn't need. I always used to overspend. मैं एक चीज़ खरीदने जाऊँगा, उसके ऊपर वाली चीज़ ही खरीद के लाऊँगा, always. But now I follow 3 rules when I'm buying stuff that is not that important for me. Number 1 rule is, can I buy 5 of this? If I'm buying a pair of shoes, can I buy 5? Can I afford to buy 5 pairs of these shoes? If the answer is no, then no, you do not need that product. Number 2 rule is this making life easy for me? Is this doing something? Is it making things convenient for me? For example, जब हम टाउन हाउस में मूव होंगे, I know that I'll buy the $1,000 snow blower because मेरे को पता है कि स्नो शवलिंग में बहुत हालत खराब होती है, and if I buy a snow blower, it will make life easy for me. That's $1,000 well spent. And rule number 3 that we need to follow in buying anything is, can I pay this in full? Do I need installments to pay this off? If the answer is yes, then probably that's not the best decision for us. Now, the only exception to this is a car or a house, because these are one-time purchases and these are probably the biggest purchases that you will make, and obviously you cannot buy 5 of these. So these are, you know, there are certain rules that you need to still follow with these, and we'll discuss that in a separate video. But other than that, if you're buying an iPhone, if you're buying a camera, if you're buying anything that's, you know, roughly about $1,000 or lower, you need to make sure that you are able to buy that in full. And if that you can't do, then you should not buy that. Number 4 reason of why we remain poor is because we do not think big enough. अब कई लोग जो होते हैं वो मिनिमम वेज सैलरी से बहुत खुश रहते हैं, बिकॉज इट्स 9 to 5, कोई टेंशन नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, एंड दे आर कंफर्टेबल इन देयर लाइफस्टाइल, कंफर्टेबल लिविंग इन अ कॉन्डो, कंफर्टेबल लिविंग इन अ बेसमेंट. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट्स रॉन्ग, व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज दैट एक्चुअली मेक्स अस पुअर, बिकॉज हमारी सैलरी जो होती है वो उस रेट से इंक्रीज ही नहीं करती, because we are at minimum wage, we are not earning enough, we are getting those 2 to 4% hikes, and the inflation now is 5 to 6%, and we keep losing our buying power every single year. We need to think a little bit bigger. And you know, big सोचने का ये मतलब नहीं है कि you always have to start a business, you always have to become a realtor, you always have to become a mortgage broker, or you always have to invest into real estate. That's not thinking big. Thinking big can be as simple as that I'm not able to save and invest enough money, and therefore I need that 6-figure job. When new immigrants come here, I hear this all the time. मेरे पास Canadian experience नहीं है, इसलिए मेरे को ना 100,000 की सैलरी मिल ही नहीं सकती. क्यों नहीं मिल सकती? We have done a lot in India. I have 10 years of experience in India. I just do not understand why we cannot think of a 6-figure salary. So the point here is that if you are feeling that you do not have enough money to save and invest, if you are just struggling to just, you know, meet your means, and you don't have enough money left to spend or splurge on you once in a while or travel, then you need to change your job. Just change it. Otherwise, you will be stuck in a job that gives you 2 to 4% hike, and the inflation will be 6%, and every year your buying power will come down. Because whether we like it or not, we need money to sustain ourselves. We need money to buy a car. We need money to buy a house. We also need money to buy crap that we don't need, because sometimes we just do. And therefore, it's very important that we think big. That's all we have for today. I hope you liked the video. अगर वीडियो पसंद आई तो please like करके जाना. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe that and hit the notification bell so that whenever this kind of a video comes, you actually get notified and you do not miss any video. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय.